All right, ready for some serious star power? We're diving deep into the Orionids Meteor Shower today. Got some incredible articles sent in, and let me tell you, this is no ordinary meteor shower. This is like witnessing bits of a celestial legend, you know?
You got that right. The Orionids are something else. And the connection to Halley's Comet, that's major.
Okay, so before we go full-on astronomy geek, let's set the scene. Mid-October, prime time for the Orionids. And what's wild is this year's been huge for skywatchers already, right? Total solar eclipse, lunar eclipse during the harvest moon. Orionids are like the grand finale.
Grand finale, love it. And they're known for putting on a show, that's for sure. We're talking bright, fast meteors, those streaks across the sky. Yeah, the Orionids are famous for that.
Now, one name kept popping up in these articles, Halley's Comet. I mean, everyone's heard of it, but what's the connection here, really?
Okay, so picture this. Halley's Comet, this ancient thing, right? It's like it's traveling through space, leaving little souvenirs everywhere it goes. Except these souvenirs are actually tiny bits of ice and dust, and guess what? Every October, Earth goes right through that debris field.
Wait, so those shooting stars, those are actual pieces of Halley's Comet burning up as they hit our atmosphere. That's insane.
Exactly. And here's the thing about Halley's Comet. It's kind of a diva. Only shows up every 76 years or so.
Seriously, I had no idea it was that rare.
Oh yeah, last time it was visible was back in '86. And get this, it won't be back until 2061.
Wow, talk about a long wait. So for those of us who weren't around for that or don't want to wait another, 4 decades, the Orionids are the way to experience a bit of that comet magic, huh?
You could say that, like a glimpse into this celestial icon, even when the real deal's millions of miles away.
I like that. Okay, so for us amateur astronomers, any tips on how to actually catch this show?
Absolutely. First things first, dark spot. Get as far away from city lights as you can. Darker the sky, better the view.
Right, light pollution, the stargazer's enemy.
Tell me about it. Now, the articles you sent, they mentioned the moon might be kind of annoying this year.
Yeah.
Waning gibbous, all that.
Yeah, I think I remember reading that. So are we out of luck?
Not at all. Bright moon can wash out the fainter meteors, sure, but
Yeah.
the Orionids, they're intense, the brightest ones. They'll cut right through. You'll get those streaks, don't worry.
That's good to hear. So a little lunar interference, but still worth braving the night for.
Absolutely worth it. Plus, something magical about those bright meteors against all those stars, you know.
Speaking of stars, what about the backdrop for this meteor shower? One article mentioned the Orionids are framed by some of the brightest stars out there. Must be pretty spectacular.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like front row seats to a cosmic fireworks show and the constellations. Those are your background.
So where should we be looking? Just up, generally?
Well, the name Orionids kind of gives it away.
Orion. We're looking for Orion.
You got it. The meteors, they seem to radiate from around there. Orion rises in the east in the evening, climbs higher as the night goes on.
Makes sense. Orion's easy to spot, even for, beginner stargazers.
Right. One of the most recognizable ones. 3 stars, Orion's Belt. Classic.
Right, Orion's belt. Okay, I can picture it. So we want to look towards Orion, but we don't have to stare right at it.
Exactly. Meteors can show up anywhere, but they'll look like they're coming from around Orion.
Gotcha. Dark spot. Look towards Orion.
Yeah.
Be amazed. Got
You
it.
got it. And dress warm. October nights, they can be chilly.
Oh, for sure. Learned that the hard way a few times. Okay, so back to Halley's Comet for a sec. This whole thing feels kind of mythical. Comet returns every 76 years, leaves a trail of stardust. It's like science fiction or something.
Right. There's definitely something about Halley's Comet. It's been observed for centuries. I mean, it's even in old tapestries. That's how long.
See, that's what I'm saying. History, art, maybe even a little magic, all in one.
Totally. And the fact that it only swings by every 76 years
Yeah.
adds to the whole mystique.
So why does it take so long to go around the sun? What's up with that?
Okay, so it's all about the orbit. Earth's orbit, it's like a circle, right? Halley's Comet, totally different. It's elliptical. Think like a really stretched out oval.
Okay, so instead of a nice circle, it's like this big loop around the sun.
Exactly. At its farthest, Halley's Comet goes way out past Neptune,
Wow.
which is like 30 times farther from the sun than we are. And then it comes swinging back around, gets close to the sun again, always on that oval path.
Like a cosmic boomerang.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those trips, they take a while, 76 years on average.
76 years. It's kind of wild to think about everything that happens here while Halley's is out there making that trip. You know, wars, inventions, whole generations come and go.
It really makes you think. And it makes those streaks of light from the Orionids even more incredible, right? Each meteor, a tiny piece of that whole journey.
We were talking about those old tapestries showing Halley's Comet. Do we know when it was first, officially observed? Was that something ancient civilizations were hip to?
So that's actually one of the most amazing things about Halley's Comet. We've got records going back at least 2,200 years.
Get out!
Ancient China, Babylon, Greece, they all have descriptions of what we're pretty sure was Halley's Comet.
So for millennia, people have been looking up and seeing this thing.
Exactly. Can you imagine being those ancient astronomers? They had no clue what comets were really here. Must seem like pure magic.
It's kind of giving me chills thinking about it. They're looking up at the same comet we can see today. Well, not today, but...
Same comet, different millennium, right?
Exactly. It's like this weird connection across time.
I love that. And speaking of connections, when you see those Orionids this year, picture those ancient astronomers looking up, totally baffled.
Right. What is that thing?
Exactly. It links us to this long line of skywatchers, just united by looking up at the night sky.
I love that. And it's funny because we think of space as this empty thing, but it's not at all. It's buzzing with activity, with history.
Exactly. And even those tiny meteors we've been talking about, they're part of it. We analyze them, figure out what they're made of, where they came from, and it tells us about how our solar system formed, what comets are all about, even maybe how life began.
Each meteor a little time capsule.
Exactly.
Right.
And who knows what else is out there waiting to be discovered. The Orionids are just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, so as we're kind of wrapping up our Orionids deep dive, what's the one thing you really want listeners to take away from all this?
That's a good question. I'd say the next time you look up at night, especially during the Orionids, don't just see dots of light. See them as messengers. Tiny pieces of this celestial traveler that's seen billions of years worth of stuff brushing up against our planet.
Yeah.
A reminder that there's so much out there that we don't know.
Beautifully put. And on that note, we'll wrap up our Orionids deep dive. Happy stargazing, everyone. It really does. We're not just watching from the sidelines, We're part of this whole thing, affected by it, connected to it.
Exactly. That's why these events like the Orionids, they're not just pretty lights.
Yeah.
They remind us of our place in all of this.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And it's funny, we think of space as this empty, silent place, but it's the opposite, really. It's alive with stuff happening, with stories we haven't even uncovered yet.
Absolutely. And those stories, they're even in these tiny meteors.
Yeah.
By analyzing them, seeing what they're made of, we can learn so much about how our solar system formed, what comets are all about, maybe even how life itself got started.
It's mind-blowing. Each meteor is a little message from billions of years ago.
Exactly. And who knows what we'll find out there as we keep exploring the Orionids. They're just one small part of it all.
Okay, so as we wrap up our Orionids deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away?
That's a great question. I'd say this. Next time you're looking up at night, especially during the Orionids, don't just see random lights. See those streaks for what they are, little pieces of something that's been traveling for billions of years. A reminder of just how much is out there, how much we don't know.
Yeah, amazing. And on that note, we'll wrap up our Orionids deep dive. Happy stargazing, everybody.